wrestling, Jay Trigger and Eric E. Wrestling on DDT Radio. Wrestling, Smackdown, Raw. It's wrestling, live with Jay Trigger and Eric E. on DDT Radio. Yeah. Welcome to DDT Radio with Jay Trigger
and Eric E.
We got a lot to talk about this week.
Yes, we do.
As
Jay
we
Trigger.
break down Raw and
We're gonna
SmackDown.
break it down.
For your entertainment, we're going to break down 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown. What, in 40 minutes?
40 minutes or less. We're going to do it for you guys.
Here we go.
All right.
Raw live from Miami, Florida this week.
Florida.
It started with Kurt Angle. Yes. The beloved general manager, Kurt Angle. He came out to wish everybody Happy New Year. And by the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
E.
Happy New Year to you, Jay. I mean, it's a new year, and we're starting it off right with this brand new podcast.
And my New Year's resolution is to have this podcast be the best it can be this year.
Mine too. I'm totally in agreement with that, and I'm going to lose some weight.
I am not.
I got to get in better shape.
All right. Anyway, Kurt Angle, he wished the WWE Universe a Happy New Year. Then he went over the happenings of what's going to happen in the WWE January. One of is the 25 Years of Raw show. It's going to be in 3 weeks, and I cannot wait either.
That 25 years is also going to be aired. I believe it's going to be aired on USA, so that's going to be really cool. And
bring back Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, bring him back.
He was going over the rules of the Rumble, which we all know.
We
it's
all
the
know
same.
the rules.
The women and the men's going to be the same. But then he was interrupted by The Bar, Sheamus, and Cesaro.
The Bar.
Now, they whined a lot about the match last week, the tag team match, which they should.
Yeah.
They just threw Jason Jordan in there with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan won last week. And then they were interrupted by there was a lot of interrupting in the first segment, as there always is.
There always is.
They were interrupted by Jason Jordan, who was whining and terrible as usual.
Yep.
Jason Jordan started mouthing Sheamus and Cesaro. Interrupted by Seth Rollins.
So Seth Rollins comes out and just basically says to Jason, "Hey, look, you're a partnership now. This is what it's like to be a partner.
Yeah,
you got to learn what it's like to be with a partner. You can't just show up somewhere and demand something without your partner. You just can't do that."
Jason Jordan, came out without Seth Rollins. Yeah. He hasn't figured it out yet.
He's not figured it out. And Jordan also said some other weird stuff, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, he's a very weird dude. Anyway,
spoon-fed.
Kurt Angle did put a match together, Cesaro versus Jason Jordan, and it was okay.
It was all right. One thing that really stuck out to me is Seth was like, "I'm going to be here on ringside, and I'm going to be in your corner, but I want you to lose," basically.
Yeah, he did say that. Because he needs to learn a lesson.
He needs to learn a lesson.
The Punk needs to learn a lesson.
Yep.
Well, he didn't. He actually won the match. Jason Jordan, he sustained a lot. Cesaro focused on the left leg of Jason Jordan a lot, but Jason Jordan was able to withstand it all, and he actually did get the surprise win.
He did get the win, and it was surprising, and I really think the only reason why Jordan did win that match was because of Seth. Seth, there was a little bit of shenanigans going outside of the ring. Seth took care of it, nailed Sheamus on the outside, and then what happened inside the ring between Cesaro and Jason Jordan really changed pace, and Jordan was able to get the win.
Jason Jordan looked pretty strong in this.
He did look strong. However, the Bar still seems strong. They still seem dominating. I don't know really what's going to slow the Bar down. If they just keep doing what they're doing, they're eventually going to succeed. That's all I can really see, Jay. I mean, they are a dominant team, and really they didn't get along very well in the very beginning of their startup. And now they're
rolling now.
They're
rolling. Moving on.
Moving on with that.
Bray Wyatt versus Apollo Crews. Hold on just a second. This is what I got for that. A bunch of farts.
And see, for the Hulu guys, we didn't get to see that, so you know it had to suck.
It was really clumsy and weird match, and frankly, it was a waste of 10 minutes of my life, Eric. It really was.
Was it only 10 minutes?
I don't know. I
was
zoned.
Longer you zoning out.
I zoned during that one.
Those are the matches where you're like, man, I could really use a quick power nap. Is that all the farts, or is there more? Is there more with that?
Bray Wyatt won, of course, with his sister Abigail, and what we all knew was going to happen is Matt Hardy, Woken Matt Hardy, did at the very end of it.
Did he?
He showed up on. I know if you're a Hulu guy, you did not get to see this, but he did show up on the Titantron, whatever they call it now.
Right.
I don't think it's called Titantron. That might have dated me right there. I don't think it's called Titantron.
I always thought it was called the Titantron.
Anyway, he said some interesting things. He called
dated.
He said that Matt Hardy said that he was an omniscient ghost that haunted Bray Wyatt's dreams. I don't know what that means.
Wow.
I don't know what any of this means.
No one.
And then it cut to many screens with Matt Hardy laughing, like just a bunch of screens, and it was like it made his voice get smaller, like.
You did pretty good at that. That was pretty good.
So it was really weird, and it was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that.
So the fart meter, it gets a million farts.
I don't know where they're going. It was Bray Wyatt looked really bad wrestling too. By the way, it didn't look good. It was ugly.
Most of the time, he's like really dominant,
it wasn't good.
And creepy and cool.
And
And
Apollo
awesome
Crews too. That poor guy. What happened to him?
No, I haven't seen him in months. So.
Yeah. Oh, but let's move on.
Move
on from that stinker to Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. And y'all, for the listeners out there, every time you hear this song, you can just know that we're talking about Alexa Bliss. I'm gonna let the music play just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Alexa.
Oh, Alexa.
Now Alexa came out. She actually started the show. She was really worried because
she was a little scared. She was freaking out. She was definitely freaking out
because Kurt Angle put her in a match with Asuka.
Yeah, and one thing that Kurt said that was really interesting, he was like, "You just better be lucky that this is not a title match.
Yes.
At least not yet."
And what did I say? I said this last week. I said,
"You did.
Asuka's going to win the Royal Rumble."
You did say that.
But anyway, they had a match.
Right.
It was pretty good. It was really technical wrestling. There's a lot of grappling at the start. It was very technical. You don't see that from the girls very often.
You don't. You don't see that from the women that much.
The women really. This match actually was one of my matches of the night. I don't know about you, Eric. I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. All my notes that I made on that all start with Asuka. So, she was pretty dominating that match.
Alexa, she can wrestle, though.
She can wrestle.
She put some cool moves on her.
But I just think that Alexa was a lot sidetracked by the whole fact that she couldn't get any help from Nia Jax.
Yes, she needs the help.
She wanted to help. They're supposed to be friends, but Nia's messing around with Enzo, and Enzo's whatever he's doing. She had to bring him some chicken soup. So I think Alexa Bliss was just a little sidetracked.
Alexa got out of an ankle lock and an elbow break thing that looked terribly painful. She also Asuka got out of a couple of these leg squeeze locks. And
I did see that.
I just saw something that I wasn't prepared for. Alexa wrestling well against her. She held her own for them.
She did hold her
for
own
a while,
right.
And it was a longer match than it normally is.
Right.
For the women.
For the women, right. And it was, and she held her own, but however, she just couldn't hold on long enough, and Asuka got that submission out of her.
Moving on. Do we want to move on? Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, we want to move on.
Let's move on.
I mean, I don't have anything else to add to that other than Asuka wins with the submission.
I just think that we're going to see that at WrestleMania. That's my prediction.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be one of the better matches of WrestleMania. I do think that.
Okay. Ruby Riott.
Moving on. Oh, yes. Moving on.
Moving
to
on.
Braun Strowman versus the ECW legend, Rhino. Accompanied by his crazy friend, Heath Slater. What a waste of time again.
It was a waste of time.
Why do they keep doing this? He destroyed both of the men within a minute.
Right. And the only thing that this match benefits, in my opinion, is Braun Strowman.
Yeah, they're building for this match against what's his name? Brock.
Yeah,
they're
the
building
triple threat
They're
match.
building for the triple threat. I get it. But didn't Rhino and Heath Slater fight Kane last week?
Yeah.
So we're just switching.
We're just switching characters.
We're just going to switch them. We're going to beat them up
until the pay-per-view happens, and whatever.
One thing I will say about Braun is I love this man.
He's great.
I do love him. He's got a personality.
You want to know a crazy fun fact about Braun Strowman?
Sure.
He's actually one of the nicest guys in the locker room.
I don't want to talk to him.
I know, me neither. but,
might be nice,
but apparently, I read that on
seems very scary.
I read that on WWE.com. Is that he's one of the nicest roundabout guys in the whole locker room. So it's kind of a oxymoron,
one thing was
it's kind of weird.
very interesting that the match sucked, but when he was walking out, Kane came and approached him and was like, "Hey man,
you should team up with me
and Braun was,
me and Brock. We can all go against Brock." And what did Braun?
And Braun was just like,
"Yo, I'm the own monster. I'm the apex monster. I'm the main alpha
That's why
monster."
I love Braun Strowman. Like even when he's fighting and stuff, he just screams crazy things at the crowds and at the wrestlers, and it's entertaining. I love this guy.
Moving on.
We're going to go to the Intercontinental Championship match.
IC title match.
Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
Boom,
There was a
boom.
stipulation this time. Roman could lose the title with a disqualification.
That's right.
Let's get to it. Much like last week, it was a JR slobber knocker. As soon as both men they've traded power moves. They were getting after it. Later in the match, Joe did this form of the AJ flying upside down kick. I don't know what that's called.
I don't either.
No, what's that called? Where he does the flying? I don't know. Anyway, and Roman barely kicked out. Joe took over, and once again, this dude is nasty. He's a nasty wrestler.
He's nasty.
He throws elbows. He throws punches. He chokes. He was choking Roman Reigns out with his own arm, with Roman Reigns' own arm.
Yep. It was wild. And Joe was actually trying to encourage. I mean, if I was Joe too, I would too. But he was trying to encourage Roman to nail him in the face with the stainless steel steps.
I love Joe. Another spectacular dive through the ropes to the outside to drive Roman Reigns into the barricade again. Yeah, it was good. He pretty much laid waste to Roman for most of the match.
He just totally dominated him. Tried to get into Roman's head, because Roman's a hothead. He gets hot-headed. He does stupid things. But one thing I did notice, Jay, and it's kind of a weird thing, but Roman's not getting booed as much anymore.
He is. I think it's because of the Shield thing.
Definitely is.
But anyway, he of course, Roman Reigns. He's much like John Cena, which is kind of the reason a lot of people hate him.
Right.
Roman Reigns Superman punched Samoa Joe a couple times, but then he actually kicked out of that.
Yeah, he did. He did kick out. I was very surprised.
And that kind of got Roman Reigns a little crazy. He almost got disqualified.
He almost got disqualified. Joe pushed Reigns into the referee, almost causing a DQ. But then later in the match, Samoa Joe was able to move the ref out of the way. Did save the ref. And it was the same ref from the last match from last week. It was the same ref, and I believe that that ref had sued Roman Reigns or fined him for $5,000. I believe that's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome chant that when I was in Orlando, the Miami crowd did do a "This is awesome" chant.
They did.
And I think they should have. It was pretty awesome.
It was awesome. I was into it. I want to say this was one of my favorite matches of the night for sure. Joe got Reigns in the coquina clutch.
He did.
Somehow, magically,
he got out of it.
Roman Reigns got out of that
and
one.
He speared him.
Spear. More
and
spear.
As you know, Eric, nobody kicks out of the spear.
Nobody.
And
not even Jesus.
Samoa Joe was no different, and Roman retained the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins with the spear, and he retains the title.
But good match.
It was a good match.
Then we had to go to, sadly, Gulak and Damari addressing the crowd. And all the fun that I did have was then zapped away from me.
Yeah, this was another Hulu didn't get to see.
And you shouldn't. And we were just talking about this. I don't even want to really talk about it. I will talk about it a little bit.
Let us know, Jay.
The 205 Live failed me again on Raw. I don't even know why they put them on Raw because, that match last week,
Right.
featuring